In Ohio, once a student on an IEP turns 14, their school is required to provide transition services. These services are provided to help the student transition to adulthood. They're focused in three key areas.
The first is job readiness skills. Schools can provide instruction to help prepare a student to have a job in the future. For some students, this can mean help exploring career options or preparing a resume. For others, job readiness may involve explicit instruction in certain job skills, such as following instructions, proper work behavior, and time management. Schools can also get students ready for post-secondary education. This is education that happens after the student graduates high school, such as college or a technical certification program. If a student needs help researching college programs or developing certain skills in order to qualify for a certification program, the school can work on that as part of the student's transition. The final area of transition skills is independent living. These are the skills that a student will need to live as an independent adult. If a student's disability impacts their ability to take care of themselves in their daily life, such as with budgeting, hygiene, or cooking, schools can help teach skills in this area. All of these services are provided for free as part of the student's IEP. Services are always going to be based on the student's needs related to their disability. The transition services the school provide are described in the transition section of the IEP. All services are aimed at targeting specific goals. The IEP team as a whole will take into account information from parents, students, service providers, and the school's own assessments in order to determine what goals are appropriate for the student. Transition services are automatically included in the annual IEP that covers the year the student turns 14. The transition goals and activities should be based on information the school has collected on the student's strengths, abilities, needs, and preferences. Schools are also required to get parent input on every part of the IEP, including transition services, up until the student turns 18. Some schools will send home rating scales that parents can fill out or interview parents about their students. Parents can also provide input on transition services during IEP meetings. It is important for both parents and students to let their voices be heard during the transition process. Parent and student input help shape school transition goals, and transition goals help shape the student's skills for the future. It is especially important that the student participates in their transition planning. Students can attend their own IEP meetings at any age, but must be invited to the IEP meetings beginning at age 14. The earlier students are involved in the IEP process, the easier it will become for them to advocate. Parents should talk with their student about their goals for the future and help their student advocate to the school. There are many ways to communicate with the school about your transition goals. If you have an idea for a goal, let the school know. The best way to make a request outside of an IEP meeting is in writing over email. If the school does not respond to your email request, you can always follow up with a phone call. Schools are required to communicate about IEP services with parents in their native language.
When in doubt, you can always call an IEP meeting. Until a student turns 18, their parent can request an IEP meeting at any time. It is a parent's right as the educational decision maker. Schools are required to provide interpreters if they are needed to understand everything that is being discussed at the meeting.